Ava Moreno, 18, steps into the light, and for a split second, everything feels exactly how it's supposed to. The gymnasium is packed. Folding chairs stretch in perfect rows filled with parents leaning forward, phones raised, smiles wide and expectant. The air hums with applause, chatter, and the squeak of shoes against polished wood. Above it all, bright stage lights press down, warm and blinding. Before we continue, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell for updates. Ava adjusts her cap, fingers brushing the tassel she's imagined moving from right to left for years. This moment wasn't just about finishing high school. It was proof. Proof that the late nights, the pressure, her father's expectations, all of it meant something. Her name should be next. She knows the order. She memorized it. The principal, Mr. Halverson, stands at the podium, voice steady as he reads, Liam Carter, Sophia Nguyen. One by one, students cross the stage. Handshake, smile, photo, applause. Ava shifts her weight slightly, ready. Daniel Ruiz. That's it. She inhales, her turn. But then, silence. A pause. Too long. Mr. Halverson's eyes lift, not toward Ava, but beyond her. Toward the audience, toward the front row. Ava follows his gaze, her father. Carlos Moreno sits rigid, shoulders squared, eyes locked onto the stage. There's no pride in his expression, no excitement, only tension. And then, he shakes his head, slow, controlled, final. Ava's breath catches. What? Mr. Halverson hesitates, gripping the edge of the podium. For a moment, it looks like he might say something, like he's about to correct a mistake. Instead, he clears his throat. And next, Emily Parker. Applause erupts. Ava doesn't move. Emily brushes past her, confused but smiling, stepping into the spotlight that should have been Ava's. The crowd claps like nothing happened, like nothing is wrong. But something is very wrong. Ava's ears ring, her chest tightens, her thoughts spiral. Did I mess something up? Did I fail something? Why didn't anyone tell me? And why would her father stop it? She looks back toward him. He won't meet her eyes. That hurts more than anything. The applause fades again, but Ava is still standing there, stuck between two moments, one that should have been hers, and one she doesn't understand. Then something inside her snaps into clarity. If no one is going to explain it, she's not staying. Ava turns, steps away from the stage, walks off. No diploma, no acknowledgement, no answers. Just confusion trailing behind her like a shadow. And then, 15 seconds later, the sharp screech of microphone feedback slices through the gym. The noise dies instantly. Ava freezes mid-step. A voice echoes across the room, her father's voice. This ceremony needs to stop. And suddenly, everything changes. Ava wasn't supposed to hear that tone in her father's voice. Not here, not today. Backstage, the noise from the gym bleeds through the curtains in muffled waves, confused murmurs replacing the steady rhythm of applause. Ava stands near a stack of metal folding chairs, her body still angled toward the exit, like she might leave at any second. But she doesn't. She can't. Her mind is stuck on a loop she can't escape. That look. That single shake of his head. Carlos Moreno has never been unpredictable. Ever. He's the kind of man who color codes calendars, who double-checks receipts, who wakes up at the same exact time every day, even on weekends. Growing up, Ava learned quickly. Her father doesn't make impulsive decisions. Everything he does has a reason, which is exactly why this doesn't make sense. A volunteer brushes past her, whispering urgently, "You need to wait over here." But Ava barely registers it. Her fingers curl around her phone. The screen lights up. No missed calls, no texts, no explanation. Her chest tightens. If he planned this, why didn't he tell her? Ava! She turns. Lilac Chen rushes toward her, heels clicking against the floor, graduation gown swaying wildly behind her. Her expression is a mix of confusion and disbelief. "What just happened?" Lila demands, lowering her voice but not her intensity. "They skipped you! No, that's not even possible." "I know," Ava says, her voice quieter than she expects. "You were literally top 10! You passed everything! Lila stops, studying her face. "Wait, do you know something?" Ava hesitates, then says it. "My dad told him to skip me." Lila freezes. "What?" Ava swallows. "I saw him. He shook his head. The principal looked right at him." "That doesn't make any sense," Lila says immediately. "Why would he do that? That's insane!" "I don't know," Ava admits, the words tasting heavier now that they're real. Before Lila can respond, the microphone crackles again, louder this time, sharper. Both of them instinctively look toward the stage. Carlos's voice fills the gym. Not calm, not controlled, unsteady. "This ceremony needs to stop." The energy shifts instantly. The background noise turns into something sharper, voices rising, chairs scraping, confusion spreading like a ripple through water. Ava's heartbeat quickens. This isn't contained anymore. Whatever her father is doing, it's not just about her. Lila grabs her arm lightly. "Ava, what is he doing?" Ava doesn't answer, because she's starting to realize something worse than confusion. He looks desperate, and her father doesn't get desperate, which means whatever he's about to say, he believes it's worth destroying this entire moment. The mic crackles again, and this time, he doesn't hold back. "This isn't right," Carlos says, louder now. Ava takes a step closer to the curtain. She has to hear this, because somehow, her graduation just turned into something else entirely. And she has a feeling there's no going back. The moment her father says, "This isn't right," the entire room shifts. Not gradually, instantly. Ava edges closer to the heavy curtain, fingers brushing the fabric as she leans just enough to see the stage. The bright lights glare against her eyes, but she forces herself to focus. Her father stands at the center now, one hand gripping the microphone so tightly his knuckles have gone pale. This isn't the man she knows. Carlos Moreno is always composed, measured, controlled. But right now, he looks like someone who's run out of time. "There's been a mistake," he says, voice echoing across the gym. It wavers at first, then steadies with effort. "A serious one." Mr. Halverson steps closer, his polite smile completely gone now. He leans toward Carlos, speaking in a low, urgent whisper, something meant to stay private. Carlos pulls the microphone away. "No," he says louder. "You already had your chance." A ripple of gasps spreads through the audience. Parents glance at each other. Students twist in their seats. Phones that were recording proud moments now tilt upward, capturing something else entirely. Ava feels it, that invisible shift, attention. And then, "It involves my daughter." The words land like a dropped weight, heavy, sudden, impossible to ignore. Ava's stomach drops. Behind her, Lila's grip tightens slightly on her sleeve. "Ava," she whispers. But there's nothing else to say. Because now, everyone is listening. Everyone is watching. Carlos scans the crowd, his eyes sharper now, more certain. "This isn't right," he repeats. "She should not be walking across that stage today." The sentence slices clean through Ava. Not confusion anymore, not uncertainty. An accusation. Her breath catches. "What?" Mr. Halverson reaches for the microphone again, clearly trying to cut this off. "Sir, we can discuss this privately. I tried that." Carlos snaps. The room stills. I brought this to the school last week, he continues, voice rising just enough to carry authority now. I asked for it to be investigated. A pause. They ignored it. The tension tightens, like a rope pulled too far. Ava's thoughts race. Ignored what? Carlos reaches into his jacket, slowly, deliberately, and pulls out a folded document. The movement is small, but it changes everything. I have proof, he says. 3 words. And suddenly no one is shifting in their seats anymore. No one is whispering. The gym is silent because now, this isn't confusion. It's exposure. Ava feels her pulse pounding in her ears, louder than anything else. Proof of what? Her eyes lock onto the paper in his hand. And for the first time, a flicker of fear creeps in, because whatever is written there, her father was willing to destroy her graduation to reveal it. And he's about to show everyone why. Ava feels it before her father even speaks again. That quiet, suffocating pressure that settles over the room when something irreversible is about to happen. Carlos unfolds the paper slowly, the sound barely audible, but in the silence, it might as well be thunder. I didn't want to do this here, he says, his voice steadier now, as if crossing some internal line has finally anchored him. But I was left with no choice. Mr. Halverson steps closer again, tension written across his face. Mr. Moreno, you're disrupting. You already ignored me once. Carlos cuts in, not raising his voice, but sharpening it. That lands. The principal stops. The crowd leans in. Every eye is locked on the stage. And Ava feels like she's shrinking and expanding at the same time, her entire world narrowing to the paper in her father's hands. When I brought this to the school last week, Carlos continues, lifting the document slightly, I was told it would be handled quietly. A pause. It wasn't. Ava's heart pounds harder. Her thoughts begin to scramble, searching for something, anything that explains this. A missed assignment, a failed test, something, anything. My daughter's academic record was altered. The words hit, but they don't land. Not at first. They hover in the air, strange and disconnected. Altered? Ava blinks, her lips parting slightly. What? Behind her, Lila stiffens. Ava, what does that mean? I don't know, Ava whispers, but the uncertainty creeps in fast, invasive, and cold. Carlos continues. She failed 2 core classes last semester, he says, but those grades were changed in the system. Now the words crash down, hard, loud, final. Ava's head shakes instantly, instinctively. No, that's not true. But even as she says it, something twists. Memories, assignments that were never returned, a math test that was entered later, a teacher who avoided her questions with quick reassurances, small things, forgettable things, until now. I requested an investigation, Carlos says, his voice carrying across the stunned silence. I asked them to verify her records before allowing her to graduate. Ava's breathing becomes shallow. I was ignored. The room erupts, not loudly at first, but in a rising wave of whispers, disbelief, tension cracking through every row of chairs. Some people turn toward the stage, others toward her. Ava feels it, the shift, the weight of being seen differently, not as the top student, not as the girl about to graduate, but as something uncertain, something questioned. I refuse to let her walk across this stage under false records, Carlos finishes. Ava presses a hand against the curtain to steady herself. Her entire identity feels like it's tilting. Was this a mistake? Was it real, or was she being exposed or protected? She doesn't know which is worse. And as the noise builds, as administrators begin moving quickly across the stage, as everything starts unraveling in real time, One terrifying thought settles in her chest. If her father is right, then everything she believed about her own success might not be true. And if he's wrong, then he just destroyed her future for nothing. Either way, nothing goes back to normal after this. The collapse of the ceremony doesn't happen all at once. It fractures, piece by piece. Administrators rush the stage, their calm professionalism replaced with tight expressions and hushed urgency. The microphone is cut. The music doesn't resume. Students sit frozen, diplomas half distributed, caught in a moment that no longer makes sense. And Ava? Ava is pulled from the edge of the curtain and guided into a side office. Her father follows. The door shuts behind them. For a second, no one speaks. The silence is heavier than anything that happened on stage. Then, it begins. Records are pulled up, logins checked, emails opened. A vice principal, 2 counselors, and a district official join the room, their tones clipped, their movements efficient. But beneath it all, something is off, because the more they look, the less it adds up. Ava sits in a stiff chair, her hands clenched in her lap, her eyes flicking between screens she can't fully see, and adults who suddenly won't meet her gaze. "I didn't cheat," she says quietly. "I didn't change anything." Carlos exhales slowly beside her. "I know." And that's the moment something shifts. He's not accusing her. He never was. "I found inconsistencies when reviewing her transcripts," he explains, his voice calmer now, more precise, like the man Ava recognizes. Courses marked complete that didn't match assignment records. Grades finalized before submissions were logged. The district official frowns. "That's not possible." "It is," Carlos replies, "because it happened." Minutes stretch. Then, one of the counselors goes pale. I need to check something." More typing, faster now. Another screen opens, then another, and suddenly, the truth surfaces. Not dramatic, not loud, but undeniable. Multiple student records had been altered. Quietly, systematically. A guidance counselor, under pressure to improve graduation rates, had adjusted grades across several students, including Ava. Not to create perfect students, but to prevent failures from being reported. Ava had failed one class, just one, but instead of notifying her, it was changed, hidden, buried. Her graduation wasn't real, but it also wasn't her fault. The room shifts again, this time toward accountability. The counselor is immediately suspended. An official investigation begins that same day. The ceremony is formally halted. Dozens of families demand answers. Some students lose diplomas they thought they'd earned. Others discover errors of their own. The school's reputation fractures overnight. And Ava? Ava walks out of that building without a cap, without a gown, without applause. But not without truth. Weeks later, she retakes the class through an accelerated program. It's quiet. No audience, no stage lights, just work. Real work. And when she finishes, when her name is finally entered, correctly this time, there's no crowd, no cheering, just a confirmation. Earned. Accurate. Final. Her father hands her the printed diploma himself. No speech, no ceremony, just a simple moment. And this time, nothing about it is uncertain.